Welcome to this special edition of Tab News. I'm Jennifer Rash, your host. I'm here with Tab Media Group, and joining me today is Randy Duckett from the southeast part of Oregon. He is an Alabama native, but he's serving out in the Pacific Northwest. Randy, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you so much, Jennifer, for reaching out and connecting with me.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. We have God stories, we have neat connections, we have threads, we have all kinds of things we're going to go through today.
Yeah.
But we just really wanted to talk specifically. You just came out of Vacation Bible School, and all the
Yeah.
churches around are having Vacation Bible School. But I was really intrigued by the fact that yours is a little bit different than what we experience here in Alabama. Just the fact that you can have it, right?
Yeah, yeah. A lot of our churches, I pastor here in Southeast Portland, and a lot of our churches and our association are really not able to have VBS because they just don't have the staffing for it. Some have had some kids camps and some sports camps. We have a lot of our church plants in the area that bring in teams that they've got partnerships with to help them do some special events. But you know this if you've had Vacation Bible School, it is all hands on deck. It's very demanding with your people. And for us to reach the community that's around us and our changing demographics so much, it requires more than what we have. And so we've been able to, build on some relationships and help us have ours. We had about between the volunteers and kids, we had about 91 here last week, and that's at our capacity. Our classrooms were packed full. Uh, I told Jennifer we had a banquet tent that we pitched out in the parking lot to help cover some overflow, and but yeah, we're very blessed that we have Vacation Bible School because not all of our churches are able to have it budget wise for curriculum and also just for staffing, and so it's really been a blessing. I'm sometimes ashamed when I hang out with some of my buddies here, let them know that we got to have VBS, and because some of the folks would love to have it, they just haven't have the resources to be able to put on some of this of that magnitude.
Now tell us about the Alabama connection, the group that came from Dothan, the Wiregrass, to come help. They almost went
Yeah,
all the way across the United States.
they did. Actually, they I think they left from Dothan early Saturday morning when they drove to Atlanta, hopped a plane and flew nonstop from Atlanta here. Yeah, Calvary Baptist Church in Dothan connected with us 5 years ago. This has finished their fifth year with us, and it has been a huge blessing. I told Jennifer that for years, and I don't mind doing it. I loved hanging out with the kids, but I was on doing one of the rotations and teaching, and I was missing out, hanging out with some of the parents and grandparents, and just being available to be an encourager to my volunteers who were here. And I have a great director. Jackie's an incredible job, and she's one of the best I think I've ever worked with. But I reached out one day, just hanging out through a staff member there, Randy Hunt, who's on staff at Calvary Baptist. And I said, Randy, I says, why don't you guys come help us do Vacation Bible School next year? And I was just throwing a little bone out just to see what he would say, and he took it. And their church not only has come to help us do Vacation Bible School, they partner with us. While by them coming up here, they saw some of the other needs that we have on our campus, and so they brought back two teams. They brought two teams last year to help us do some facility needs here. And the folks love coming. We've had some of the same people come every year. This year, in our fifth year, we had I think five of the 11 that came this year had been here every year since we've started this partnership. And our people love them and they love our people. And so it's been a great thing. The connection there, Randy Hunt, on staff there, I think he does pastoral care and senior adults now. He was my youth minister when I was 14 years old. And
I
so,
love that. I love that
yeah,
connection. That's so
yeah,
cool.
he was dating his wife now of all these years, Sandra. They were dating when they started dating when he was on staff at our church at Cottage Hill Baptist Church in Pleasant Grove, where I grew up. And so there's been a connection there that's been going, still kept, the relationship still kept. And actually, even as he began to pour into my life when I was a 14-year-old teenager, it continues.
Mm.
And so it continues. And so now 45, gosh, it's been that long, 45
It
years
really has.
later, we still have a relationship, and when we see each other every year, we just pick up where we left off. And so it's been a great thing. And so just as he was a part of helping me in my success spiritually as a young believer and as a growing believer and a one who was so distant from the Lord. He was a part of my success then, and even today, that relationship still is a part of my success that I have where I am right now. And so, I appreciate it very, very much.
Mm. I love that. It's a great reminder of just the weaving that God does in our lives, the relationships, and how they may thread all the way through. They may be just in moments, but you never know how that's all gonna
Right.
let's play
Right.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, you pour into people, and you never know. You can plant seeds all you want to, and but the ones who do take seed and take root, um, the few and far between. But I'm a product of that, and so I'm forever grateful.
Oh, well, great. Shout out to Randy Hunt and
Yeah,
Calvary
yeah,
Baptist in Dothan.
yeah,
5 year anniversary of partnering with Solid Rock Baptist Church in Happy Valley, Oregon. Did I
yeah.
get it
You
right?
got it. We're here, right here in Happy Valley, just on the southeast side of Portland, and yeah. So they love coming up here. We would love to show them a good time. We like to show them around our beauty here. We live in one of the most beautiful places in the world. I tell folks we live in also one of the darkest cities in the world too, and so it's a great opportunity that we have to bring the light of Christ and the message of hope. And like I said, this last year to as we did Illumination Station, that Jesus is the light of the world.
Mm.
And he shines brighter. The darker the room, the brighter the light shines. And so we see that up here. And so, yeah, we appreciate so much those who want to get connected with us. Those who are down south and down in Alabama looking for a place to connect. If you can tolerate my office, if you were to see a portion of my office is decorated and Bear Bryant and Alabama stuff all over the place here. And so, um, but like I say, we have a great time. We have a lot of folks from down south who do work and serve here, but our objective still is to raise up leaders that are indigenous leaders in our local churches that can lead and to help us thrive in what we do here.
So good. So I'm assuming there's probably a few other churches that would love to also partner. And so Alabama churches, there's plenty of
Yes.
work to do and there's plenty of opportunities.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I was telling Jennifer earlier, our established churches, our church is a little over 60 years old here, and our established churches are still a major supporter and a major player and contributor to our property program. And
Mhm.
our convention and our associations were very dependent upon our established churches like this. Our planners do a fantastic job. Those are guys are my heroes. I admire them so much that are planning new churches. We got new plants within a couple of miles of my place here, not just Anglo speaking, but we've got a new Ethiopian congregation starting now. We've got a couple of Hispanic works that are around us here. We've got an Arabic congregation here. We got a Mandarin congregation, around us. All these things here, but our planners are amazing guys. But our established churches, though, we need to hang on to our property. Because if you ever lose your property here, you'll never get it back because the cost of living is very high here, and real estate is at a premium. And so, if we have an asset such as a building, we need to keep it maintained. And so, a lot of our established churches were not just mine, but we've got quite a few other pastor friends of mine who are needing new roofs. We've got some plumbing issues, some HVAC issues. I know for us, we're working on raising funds right now for a new roof in our building, about $89,000 for a new roof. We got a plumbing issue. I told Jennifer we had vacation Bible school last week, and we had a bunch of boys and girls in here, and one of our stalls in our women's room is gone, and so we're just having to adapt. But yeah, there's some great places to connect with up here, and be involved in some great things that are happening. I think that this is the kind of place where the movements of God, if you read the scripture and read throughout history and church history, it's places like our city here where God does some of the most miraculous and mighty things.
Mm.
And so I want to be a part of it when it happens.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so,
I love
yeah.
that.
So, yeah, it's a great thing.
Mm. So you definitely want a missions trip to be intense, so you get the VBS for the porta potties, right?
Yes, that's right.
That's the intense missions and
That's right.
ministry opportunity?
And my wife and I were the hosts for the most. we'll show you a good time. We'll give you opportunity to serve. We'll give you opportunity to meet some great people. And at the same time, while you're here, ask the folks at Calvary Dothan. They saw some great sights last week. We took them to the coast. We took them up to Mount Hood. We went kayaking one afternoon on one of the beautiful rivers here. And so I went to check out downtown and just to kind of get a picture of our urban area here and also I think it's important for you to come here too because what people see on the news about our city is not true. We live in a wonderful place here. We live in a beautiful place. Yeah, we have unrest at time or two, but that's just a small fraction of this city. We are a city here of fantastic people, great leaders, and great opportunities here. And so people make sometimes their judgments by what they see on Fox News and CNN and such, but they need to come see it for themselves. And also, I tell them this when they see it for themselves, and when that kind of unrest does happen, instead of criticizing our environment here and criticizing our political environment here, you need to pray for us.
Mm,
And so instead of being critical of the things and the decisions that are being made around here, it should give you an opportunity just to pray for those who are living here and who are leading here and those who are engaged in ministry here.
definitely a good reminder. It's easy to get kind of stirred up and fearful and
Yeah,
but yes, you're right. That's praying for, remembering people are working hard and to
yeah,
show people, yeah, that's so good. All right, we are talking with Randy Duckett, pastor of Solid Rock Baptist Church in Happy Valley, Oregon, on the
yeah,
Pacific Northwest. I'm Jennifer Rash with Tab Media Group,
yeah,
and we are hearing why we should come visit, why we should come help.
yeah,
Okay, so just to recap, we've got opportunities to come serve, short-term mission trip kinds of things,
right.
ministry opportunities, ongoing ministry opportunities by helping raise funds for the deferred maintenance on the buildings and just to be an encouragement, prayer support, all of those kinds of things. We'll put this on our website, Randy, but just say
Yeah.
out loud the best way to just, if somebody wants to reach out and check in with you, what's the best way to contact
Yeah, if they want to contact me via email, my email address is Randy, Randy, at solidrocksbc.org. That's Randy at solidrocksamboycharlie.org. And email me there. You can find us online at www.solidrocksbc.org. You can find us on Facebook. It's Solid Rock Baptist Church PDX. And so follow us on our social network here. There's great ways. I tell Jennifer also, yeah, we want to raise up leaders and we're involved in discipling our people. But yeah, this is a great place to live and to work. If you can work anywhere, if you can work remotely, this is a great place to come and get engaged in ministry. Our church planners, our pastors of our established churches, such as me, would love to have leaders to come in and to commit to serve alongside us, where you can work from anywhere, work remotely from your jobs, and then come here for the purpose of walking alongside a church. It's a great opportunity for you to get engaged in ministry and to be a part of what God is doing in our area here. And so even college students looking for residencies, guys who feel called in the ministry. There are many of us up here. I was told Jennifer, my call in the ministry came when I was at UNA as a college student. There, I transferred to Samford and graduated Samford, but my call in ministry came was I was with Bob Pittman at Russell Shoals First Baptist and Jim Warren, my BSU director at UNA. And I had no idea what I was doing. I just knew that God was calling me. Didn't know what it was like, and I had no idea I'd end up here
Wow.
and doing what I was doing. But if you are called to ministry, and just I know my friend Kevin Blackwell, who I grew up with there at Pleasant Grove, they're behind this calling out the called. As far as those who are calling and want to explore opportunities. Sometimes we put ministry in church in a box
Mhm.
and you think it has to do with church staffing or I'm going to do this or this or this, just as careers are changing and people who are studying in universities today who are starting their careers, they're going to be in careers 20 years from now that don't even exist yet.
Mhm.
And
Good
so,
point.
and the church is going to be here forever, but at the same time there are opportunities or ways to engage folks in our cities and our communities that will evolve and change. And so yeah, like I say, so if you call the ministry and you want to spend some time with folks who have experience, I've been doing this for, like I say, full time for 33 plus years. I've been called ministry 40 years ago. I've got pastor friends of mine. I got collegiate ministry friends of mine here. And so if you're wanting to get involved in any kind of ministry and want to kind of see what it's like, come up here because we have different opportunities and different avenues and different people you can work with who have been doing this for who successfully for quite a few years. And what so we can't get too comfortable in what we do because one of my mantras, if you ask my kids and my wife, I want to finish well.
Mm.
I want to finish well. As Dr. Bill Toler would say, start with a good finish. And I want to finish well. And so and so I'm very grateful to be able to keep doing what I've been doing for this long as I'll be able to do it.
Mhm.
And so you've got some people who can pour into you if you want to come up here, work and be involved in your career and allow that to be your source of income and then get engaged in ministry will be a great opportunity.
Hmm. Randy, go back to the calling out the called part. I do love what's happening where they're really trying to bring a new emphasis to help that just understand that concept. What was it like for you as a young college student to figure that out? I mean, walk us through what that looks like and how do we know how we're called
Well,
or if we're called or what that
yeah,
means?
well, you know what? I first of all, for me, it was an overwhelming sense that I could do anything else. It was, it was one of those where almost everything other than walking away with a limp like Jacob did. I mean, it was a very personal thing. I remember laying in my dorm room at UNA, in
Mhm.
my college dorm room, and just God just prompting me and prompting me and prompting me in my bunk in my dorm room, and but then he was using, my pastor. He was using my classmates in my at BSU and all those kind of things there to affirm that. And all I had to do was, and I said, well, I felt called. What called to do what? I don't know.
Right.
And that's where the box comes in. I was saying, well, I was studying music at the time, so I just assumed music ministry. I just assumed that. That's
Mhm.
just kind of what I was doing. But no, he wants you to be obedient where you are. And if you're
Mhm.
obedient where you are, then I think he'll show you things
Mhm.
that he'll along the journey. Um, I think that's where it started. I think when I became a BSM director, and in Texas, one of the major values of campus ministry is missions. It's the heartbeat of, kind of what we do, evangelism and missions. Well, during that time as a BSM director, that passion and that reminder of that call was there. So I had to have that period or that season in my ministry to give me that was necessary to do what I'm doing right now.
Mhm.
I think also relationships that you had. Those years of me coming up here, bringing college students in 2002, 2003, I built relationships with people such as Dr. Bill Cruz, who was a retired president of one of our seminary, Golden Gate Seminary.
Mhm.
Um, I had a real relationship with him. And he is the one who was interim pastor where I am right now. And
Mhm.
so I think it's just being obedient where you are
Yeah.
and then letting go and not trying to figure everything out. Just be obedient where you are, and then he'll show you things. I think he wants his heart. I love what he says in the book of Jeremiah, come to me with your whole heart, and then I'll show you things you never knew. And
Mhm.
so I think the whole issue in call to ministry is not trying to plan everything out and work your way up some type of successive ladder. It's being obedient where you are. And then if you're obedient where you are and in your current calling and in your current assignment, then he'll reveal to you, I think, what's next to you. But I think it's not going to, it's not for me. I've things I like to do and things I could pursue. Why I did my DMin, and so I could better equip myself to do other things. Yeah, I had an objective in mind, but at the same time, it was my in that journey. It wasn't um, something that was next. It was to help me be a better leader.
Mhm.
I did my DMin project on helping our church understand her unique DNA,
Mhm.
and understanding that unique DNA helps us hire staffing.
Mhm.
It helps us uh, become more focused in what we do as far as our pursuits and the things, because churches try to do so many things because everybody else tries it. But just as you and I are very unique as humans in our human body and our human genetic makeup that we have, our churches are very unique.
Mhm.
And I, and I've had to learn that in leading where I am right now because I can't have all the programs and bells and whistles that you guys have. I think more is it one of the speakers at the convention in Orlando says, I'm not going to have Six Flags Over Jesus in my church for the children's area. Okay,
Right, right, right,
I'm not I'm not going to have that,
right,
but I'm going to have, as Will Mancini says in Church Unique, I'm going to have some things that are uniquely us.
right.
And so I would have never learned that unless I'd just been obedient where I was. And my D-man was not necessarily to prepare me or to
Mhm.
equip me to be involved in some kind of a massive, large leadership opportunity, but it was for him to teach me and train me for some things, some places where I would need it.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so, yeah, that's
Yeah,
kind of my journey. But
yeah,
but at the same time, I'm so glad that God put people in my life to help me talk through it.
right.
As I began to wrestle with my call, I had Bob Pittman to talk to, and I had Jim Warren to talk to, and I had um, other. Randy Hunt. I mean, I'm just saying people that I've had to talk to over the years of and try to and also try to model, you know, and just and see, try to
Yeah.
do it how they did it.
Well, oh, I love that. I love the thought of just that concept that in I guess corporate world we're supposed to have a goal. We're working toward the
Right.
goal. We have to have these steps. We there's almost a constant evaluation at that point. But I love what you're saying about just be obedient where we are and let God move us to the next phase and let Him pull us through versus us forcing some kind of path.
Yeah.
And then the people pouring into us is the vital another vital piece of that.
Yeah. What's Psalm 37:4? Delight yourself in the Lord, and He'll give you the desires of your heart.
Oh, wow.
And I think that's a because I tell people what are my passions. I'm passionate about the bride of Christ. I'm
Hmm.
passionate about my bride. I'm passionate about my boys.
Hmm.
My bride and my boys. Also I love baseball.
Hmm.
I love baseball, and I played it when I was younger. But I love going to ballparks and love going to ball games. My oldest son played. My youngest son played all through the high school ages. I love the game. I love the smell of the grass. I love the sound of the cracked bat. But if you look at me now, I can't play it. Okay, I'm a lot older. I'm not as in good shape. But our second year in here, Portland started a new baseball team called the Portland Pickles. It's in the neighborhood near us. The park where they play is near us. I became good friends with the owner, reached out to him, and for the first 8 seasons of their existence, I was a chaplain for the Portland Pickles baseball team.
That's fantastic.
And so I still have a relationship with the coaches and with the owners, and I'm not as engaged as I once was since the pandemic. But
Hmm.
once again, it goes back. Delight yourself in the Lord; He'll give you the desires of your heart. I can't play the game, but I sure can still be involved in it at a different level. So every Sunday, and when they had Sunday games, they had batting practice at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then about 4 o'clock, I'd show up. And I would gather the players who wanted to gather for chapel, and I did baseball chapel for 8 seasons with those guys who were, and so I still got to be involved in things that I'm passionate about,
Hmm.
uh, but it was in a way that I never thought possible. And so a couple of those kids that played in that season now they're playing in the major leagues now, and so it's interesting to see that God will still give you he'll let you he knows your gifting, he knows your pet talents, he knows your passions, he knows your personality.
Hmm.
And for he wants you to use all those things, that gifting, that personality, those talents, those experiences in life, to use all those kind of things to uh, for his kingdom work. And so it's a great opportunity there, but also allows us to go through things that to learn some stuff yourself. In 2019, 2020, my wife had cancer,
Wow.
went through chemo, major surgeries, radiation. It was pretty rough, and but we learned a lot about his church in that time too.
Okay.
And I've never doubted God's provision for me. It breaks my heart when I hear these young men and who feel called into ministry, and the first thing that comes out of their mouth is, I don't know if I want to do something else because I don't know if I can make a living doing it, make enough money doing it.
Oh, wow.
I've never done without. I've been able to do this full time for. like I said, 33 plus years. I've had cars given to me. I've had scholarships, amazing scholarships to help fund some education for myself, my wife, our kids, and my wife had cancer. I had some folks in our church came up to me and they said, "Okay, we don't know how long this treatment's going to last, but here's what's going to happen." He said, "Every Monday, you're going to give us a grocery list and what you're going to have food for the week." And sure enough, we sent a text, and Monday afternoon they backed their car up my driveway and dropped groceries up in our house. He said, "Okay, now while this is going on, about every 2 weeks," he says, "while this is in treatment," he says. My housekeeper's going to come to your house and take care of your house, clean your house while she's in treatment. And so it's not just the church that we feel called to minister to, it's the church that's ministered to us also.
Mm.
And
Yes.
so I think the calling, you got to trust it
Mhm.
because, like I say, as Philippians, it was Ephesians 3:20, he is able to do immeasurably more than I could ever ask or imagine.
Mm. I
And
love that.
so
Wow.
he's proven that to us also.
Mm. I love that. Thank you for sharing, Randy. It's been
Yeah.
great to get to know your story and wow, to
Yeah,
see
well, Jennifer,
how God's working.
it took you long enough, right? I said 3 years for an after this. You're right.
Well, I'm busy. What do you think? No, I love
Yeah,
getting to know your story
yeah,
and hearing how God's working. And
yeah,
I'm excited to see who all else is going to start coming up and
yeah,
partnering, just like Calvary and Dothan and Randy Hunt
yeah,
and their crew. So,
yeah, yeah, and big, great, great opportunities up here.